right, friends, now that we're all done with our cityscape, we're going to be creating our mixed colored people in our cityscape. So if you remember, in this book that inspired our project, only the people were colorful. Everything else was black and white. So only the people were the color part. So we're going to be creating some color family portraits to start, to practice and to remind us of those really important colors and how we use them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my table colored pencil. I'm going to use a pencil because I don't have a table color. I'm going to use my table colored marker and I'm going to write my name on the top. And then I'm going to put my class code. Then in the bottom here, I'm going to start by creating my primary family colors colored portrait. So we're going to be using our fingers to create our people. That means that my fingers should be the only things that have paint on them today. Everything else should be nice and clean because I've only been using my fingers. You're also going to need a paper towel today. So I have my worksheet, my paint, and a paper towel today, okay? So I'm going to start, I'm gonna go ahead and dip my finger into red, and I'm gonna put some red right here. I'm going to choose a different finger, dip it into blue, put blue right here, and my last finger and dip it into yellow. Now, if we remember, the primary colors are used to create secondary colors. So we know primary means first, secondary means second because these are second to primary and we need the primary colors to make them. So again, I can use my primary colors to do my addition problems here to know what colors make those three secondary colors. So I'm going to start, I'm going to do red plus blue, blue plus yellow, and yellow plus red. Notice I didn't even have to re-dip my fingers at all, except maybe here a little bit for my red ones, okay? I'm only using my fingerprints. I'm not making them any bigger than just my fingerprints. Once I have that completed, now I need to mix my secondary colors. So I'm gonna look at this addition problem. This says red plus blue. Let's see what that makes. I'm gonna take a little red on my palette here, and I'm gonna put it in between the blue because we're adding red plus blue. I'm gonna take a little bit of the blue and I'm gonna mix that up. So it should be making purple. If my purple's a little too blue, I can go ahead and add some more red. Now it's looking more purple. All right, so now I have the secondary color purple, and I know that red plus blue makes it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my purple fingerprint there. Now I'm going to see what happens if I mix blue plus yellow. So I'm gonna take my other finger that's not purple, take a little bit of a blue, put it in between the blue and yellow, take a little bit of a yellow, put it on top of that, and then mix it up. Ooh, this one looks like it's making green. If your green isn't very green and it's still kind of a teal color or a blue-green, add a little bit more yellow and you should get a nice, beautiful green. So once you have your green, take your finger and make your print. My last color addition problem here is yellow plus red. So over here I'm gonna take, and I might need to wipe my fingers off, I'm getting a little too messy. Take some yellow, put it in between red, take some red, and mix it up. If it's a little too red, I can always add more yellow. There, that's a nice orange. So now over here on my paint palette, my palette is what I use to mix my colors. I have the three primary colors and I have the three secondary colors. So now I can use these six colors to add some people to my cityscape. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move my color family portrait over, and I'm going to take my cityscape now and I'm going to go ahead and add some people. So for this, I might want to just use 6 fingers, have 1 finger yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and add some yellow people. Maybe some yellow people are going to be walking on the street. Maybe I'm going to have a yellow person up here in this window. So I'm thinking about the narrative of my city. What are people doing? What is happening? Now I'm going to go ahead and choose another color. So let's do my thumb. I'm going to have my green person driving this car. I'm going to have a little green person up here in this window. I'm gonna have a green person over here in this window, and maybe there's gonna be a green person kind of hanging out by this tree. Maybe they're walking a little dog. So maybe I can use my pinky and add a little dog that they're gonna be walking, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some blue. So I'm gonna get a little blue paint here from my paint palette. I'm gonna have a blue person in this window. They're gonna be eating a big ice cream cone. I'm gonna have the yellow person walking with a blue person over here. And maybe there's gonna be a blue person roller skating here. And then maybe gonna have a blue person here and a blue person here. I'm gonna go ahead and use another finger for purple. And I'm gonna have a purple person going into this flower shop. I'm gonna have a purple person riding this bike, a purple person in this window, a purple person in this window. Let's see, a purple person in this window. All right, so then I might need to wipe some of my fingers off to get some new colors. And maybe I want to have some red people walking. She's on a rush, she's going to work. Maybe I'm gonna have a red person here, 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 here. All right, and then orange for my last color. Orange person here. And then be orange person up here with this red person. They're both looking out the window. Something is happening on the street. They gotta check it out. Over here. So I'm really filling up my cityscape with where the people would be. Notice I've only used color and put it in places where people would actually be, and I'm only using it for those people. The last thing you're gonna do is you're going to take a stylus tool and we're gonna add some eyes to our people. So I'm gonna go back to my color family portrait and I'm going to add eyes to all my primary colors. So I'm just dipping my stylus, the end of my stylus, into the white, and I'm adding eyes to my primary people. I'm gonna add eyes here, here, here. So all of my people are gonna get eyes. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to all the people in my city. The one thing you might wanna think about is maybe some of your people are gonna have sunglasses. In that case, you wouldn't be able to see their eyes. So I think my person driving the car and my person rollerblading, they're going to have sunglasses on, so they're not going to we're not gonna be able to see their eyes. So I'm not gonna add white dots to them. But everything else, you're getting white dots. Maybe I'm only gonna add one white dot to some of them because maybe they're sideways and we can only see part of their face. Or maybe they don't have any because we're facing the back of them, so we can't actually see their face, just the back of them. If you have really small dots, you can always use the other side of your stylus and get those people with some small dots. Maybe a little dot on my little puppy down there. Take your time, make sure you're getting nice white dots on all your people. All right, and then when you're done, if you have time and the timer has not gone off, you can experiment and see what happens if you mix all of your colors on your paint palette together. So you could take one finger and mix up all those colors and see what happens. And if you find out what happens, come and tell me. If you really like how your paint palette turned out, please write your name on it. And you're gonna take your worksheet, your cityscape, and your paint palette, and you're gonna put it all on the same shelf into the drawing rack today. And that's all we're gonna do. Next time you come to art, we're gonna be adding some faces and some more details to our cityscape.